am the D-Man. I'm back. I've been gone for a very long time, and you all are probably wondering, well, if some of you even care, where I've been for the last couple of months or weeks or whatever since I posted my last video. Like I said in my last video, I'd be taking a break. I wanted to start before, after like my second week of taking a break, but then when I heard that all this was happening, I decided I would jump in between dimensions to try and find a cure. I've been going through at least 50 dimensions now, I can't count it, and I haven't found anything. So, I thought I would upload this video, and I didn't know what to talk about except I would talk about like one of my other favorite shows on Disney Plus, the streaming service, Star Wars Clone Wars Season 7. Here, you know what? I guess if any of you can hear me. What I'm going to be doing is basically a what if, like in the Marvel comics, like what if Spider-Man had a cape, or what if Spider-Man never got bitten by a radioactive spider, like alternate dimensions basically. I thought I would do something like that. And, you know, I was thinking, like, oh, I should do a review on this episode. I was like, I don't really want to be, like, reviewing it a lot and, like, pointing out the Easter eggs. So I only thought, and, like, not giving away spoilers, and I only thought, like, so basically in Season 7, Episode 9, which is a good episode, and it's kind of ironic, Episode 9 of a TV show that Star Wars is really good, but Episode 9 of a movie, Star Wars, is not good. So in Episode 9, Season 7, Maul and Ahsoka face off. And before they face off, Maul's taking over Mandalore and everything. And so his plan was to have Obi-Wan and Anakin meet him at Mandalore so that they would face off. And this season, like these last 3 episodes, take place during Revenge of the Sith. So obviously Obi-Wan couldn't help because he was going off to face General Grievous. Anakin couldn't because now he's helping the Chancellor or defending him or whatever. But now that plan is ruined because now Ahsoka is there and Maul's wondering why. And his plan was that Obi-Wan and Anakin were supposed to come meet him at Mandalore and they would face off. And Maul knows about basically Order 66. Basically, like, Anakin would become Darth Vader, and Maul's kind of like wanting to take down the Emperor, basically. And the way he would do that is, like, once Maul and Anakin faced off with Obi-Wan, Maul would kill Anakin, basically. And I thought to myself, wow, how differently would that go? So this is my thought or my theory about what happened if Obi-Wan and Anakin went to Mandalore instead of Ahsoka. Alright, so bear with me. If you haven't seen the episode, you're basically lost entirely. But if you at least want to know my thought is, keep watching. But if you've seen the episodes, you'll enjoy my thought, or you'll at least be interested. So basically, here's what would happen. It would take place. Well, let's go back to the earlier episode before Revenge of the Sith even starts. So basically, Anakin and Obi-Wan meet Ahsoka after she left the Temple of the Jedi. So now, Anakin's very happy, but she tells them that Maul has taken over Mandalore, and Obi-Wan knows about this. Obi-Wan doesn't want to go, but Anakin thinks, think of it, if I go with you, maybe we can get him this time. And so they agree, okay, me and Anakin and a bunch of our troops will go assist you on Mandalore. Now, where's Ahsoka fits all this? Let's say Ahsoka goes after General Grievous. Because we need someone to go after General Grievous, and, well, we can't, well, maybe Mace Windu could go. But, oh no, Mace Windu could actually stay, actually, we'll get into that later. So then, Obi-Wan and Anakin go to Mandalore, and, now, Now Ahsoka, now seeing how this episode takes, now this is episode 8. This one takes place before the opening of Revenge of the Sith. So that means Ahsoka and a bunch of troopers are going after Count Dooku and the Chancellor. So, so now we got that out of the way. Now we go to the Battle of Mandalore. Here's what happens. Anakin and Obi-Wan fly their ships in, let's say kind of like a reference to Revenge of the Sith. Like, it's all one shot, they're all flying around and everything. Then they land on Mandalore, and what happens is that at the end of episode 8, Ahsoka and a bunch of, like, troopers end up down in, like, basically a sewer, and come face to face. She comes face to face with Maul. Now, take Ahsoka out of that. You put Anakin and Obi-Wan, and they see Maul. Maul would say, this is all, like, according to plan. You're here. This is perfect. And, you know, Obi-Wan's a little bit tense because, like, Maul's, like, basically a nightmare to him. And he's been coming back and he can't kill him. So now Obi-Wan immediately lights his lightsaber. But Anakin doesn't. Because like, you know, Anakin doesn't know that much about Maul, or hasn't even come face to face with Maul yet. And Anakin kind of wants to know, so he's being a little bit wise, and Obi-Wan's just like, no, I just want to kill him. So then, basically what happened, Obi-Wan jumps at Maul, Maul pulls out his lightsaber, defends himself, then like a bunch of Mandalorians, who are the bad guys who are working with Maul, basically shoot at them. And then Maul runs away, and then chase ensues, but then they lose him. So then, and so now, basically, we are now in episode 9. This is the aftermath of, like, them losing Maul. So then, Obi-Wan and Anakin go talk to Ahsoka on their on a hologram or whatever, and she says, Count Dooku was, like, killed because she doesn't kill him. So basically, so he would have to, like, either get killed during the crash of. Actually, no, I think about it. No. So basically, now, they have the Chancellor back, and Count Dooku is somehow dead. I don't really want to think about it, but he's dead. He's dead, and what happens is that now she has to go after General Grievous, and she's faced Grievous once, but never, like, exactly fully. So this would be a little bit scary for her, and so basically she says, I have to go I have to go hunt down Grievous, and Anakin thinks, well, actually Obi-Wan says, I'll send Anakin with you to go face Grievous. But Anakin says, no, I'm staying with you, Master, because I never want to leave your side, blah, 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 blah. It's all the same. It's everything. And then, so then, after another battle with the clones against the bad Mandalorians, with the Mandalorians on the clone side, the leader of, like, the good Mandalorians, I don't remember her name, but she's a female, goes with Anakin and Obi-Wan to the throne room. And, I forgot to mention, Jesse, one of the ARC troopers, got captured by Maul. But we'll just say, since when he was captured, he was used to, like, get information out of Ahsoka. Let's just say he's used as bait to lure in Skywalker and Obi-Wan. So now they meet him at the temple, and they find out that he's at the temple with Jesse. They see him there, and then they hand him over to Rex, the female Mandalorian who's the leader, Obi-Wan, and Skywalker. Now, Obi-Wan grabs his lightsaber because he knows something bad is about to happen. Maul goes on about, like, you have no idea what's going on. You do not see the bigger picture. You don't know what's at stake. He's basically, like, giving them hints of, like, what's to come to the future, basically. Like, Sidious will take over will take over the Republic. He'll destroy everything. And Maul says, and it's all because of him. And he points at Anakin, and Anakin gets a little bit confused, saying like, "Why me?" And then Obi-Wan gets a little bit concerned, looks at Anakin, and then looks back at Maul, and Maul says, "Your power," because basically Anakin is seen as the chosen one. So what happens is that Maul then grabs his lightsaber and says, "I must do what must be done to just save the universe," or whatever, or galaxy from total annihilation or whatever. So Maul pulls out his lightsaber. He lunges at Anakin. Anakin jumps out of the way, and is a little bit terrified, but he pulls out his lightsaber, and Obi-Wan pulls out his, and they have an epic duel. John Williams' theme from The Phantom Menace plays, and it's pretty cool. And the battle leaves the throne room and goes out into like some relics or whatever. And Maul somehow knocks out Obi-Wan with like a hit to his stomach. He's knocked out, and then Anakin realizes, oh no, he can't beat Maul by himself, so he must unleash his anger and stuff. So he does, and he grabs Obi-Wan's lightsaber and like fights off Maul. So the point of like cutting Maul's lightsaber in half, now it's like two lightsaber against another dual lightsaber. And so Maul cuts off Anakin's right arm, which is the same arm that has Robot arm. Anakin screams in pain, but he still won't quit. So he uses some of his rage left and force to get him back up and keep fighting. But then Maul gets Anakin on his knees, and what happens is that this could be a shocker. Obi-Wan looks up and Maul says, "You have failed your student, but you failed him in a good way," or something, and kills Anakin the same way he killed Obi-Wan's girlfriend. And Obi-Wan screams in anger because Obi-Wan and Anakin were really close, and now that Obi-Wan has lost not only a teacher to him, he's lost his student, showing that he can't even keep a student alive. Now Obi-Wan gets really mad. He grabs Anakin's lightsaber and fights off Maul, and then he somehow overpowers Maul, and then Obi-Wan says, like, "What do you mean it was all for the good of the galaxy?" And he says, "Because he would have like destroyed all of us, and he would have won," mentioning Sidious. And then what happens is that now that Grievous Obi-Wan kills. Actually, no. Obi-Wan doesn't kill Maul. He takes him in, and they take him in for questioning. But when they're arriving to Coruscant, actually wait. What happens is that all the Jedi who are scattered out of the universe, they come back, and Chancellor Palpatine is still like, in his chair looking all evil, like, yes, good, yes, I am the Chancellor. And the Jedi question Maul, and Maul, like, he gets like scared and a little bit like, like resistant and like shaking and stuff, and he says, and he screams, he's like, "No, he's here, you just don't know it." And then once Palpatine enters the room, he says, Maul just looks at him in fear, and he's like, "No, it's him! And then Palpatine just this is the only way I can see it. He pulls out his light. He pulls out two of his lightsabers and kills Maul, and Maul dies. And now, like, let's say who's in the room is Kit Fisto, Obi-Wan, and Mace Windu. So now, now it's known that, like, Palpatine is Sidious. So now they decide, okay, now we gotta kill him. And so they say, like, like, basically what Mace Windu said in Revenge of the Sith, like, by order Galactic Republic, you are under arrest. And he says, are you threatening me, Master Jedi? And, like, it's basically, like, the usual name or whatever. And then, so they fight him off, and, he does get Jedi. It was hard because I like Kid Fisto. He's pretty cool, and the way he went out in the original was bad. Let's say he's almost like the last one standing. Because, like, he knocks out Mace Windu and Obi-Wan pretty well. Because they're both, like, really good fighters. Like, Mace Windu is especially a great fighter. So now, Kid Fisto is now fighting off him pretty well. Like, he's doing pretty good. And then, like, Palpatine cuts off one of his legs and then cuts his head off. Again, I didn't really want to kill Kid Fisto off. I want him to live. So then Palpatine runs to his office, and then this is where, and he passes Ahsoka, and she sees Mace Windu, Obi-Wan running, and she asks, what's going on? And then Obi-Wan just screams while running, the Chancellor is the bad guy. He's Sidious. Come help us. Get all the Jedi. We need him. And so now it's 3 Jedi running for him. And then Palpatine closes down his office, and he activates his intercom, and he calls Cody, and he says, execute Order 66. Now, there are a bunch of clones in, like, the temple, and Cody's in there, and he sees Obi-Wan. He pulls his rifle up, then Obi-Wan says, Cody, what are you doing? And Cody says, I have to execute Order 66. And then he shoots Obi-Wan in the arm. And now, and then Mace Windu kills Cody very brutally and yet really unsatisfying. I wish I found another way for Cody to die, but I couldn't. Sorry if any of you are big Cody fans. And so now, they find a way to break into the Chancellor's room while killing some clones, because now they're all evil. And so now Palpatine is, like, ready to face them. And then the 3 Jedi duel against him. And then Master Yoda heard about, like, the Chancellor's the bad guy. And so he goes to the office immediately and and gets there. And then while Palpatine has, like, Mace Windu on the floor about to kill him, Master Yoda walks in and he says, hello, Darth Sidious, we finally meet at last. And then they fight. And then Yoda and Sidious fight, and it's pretty cool because then Obi-Wan joins, then what was it? Ahsoka joins. Then they all fight, and it's a 3-way. It's a big epic clash, and it takes, like, all over the temple to a point where it goes outside on top of the temple. And then Mace Windu joins them, like, recovering from his attack. And then what happens is that's the final part, and, like, they're all mortally injured, they're all wounded. Some of them have lost lightsabers. Like, Ahsoka lost her one of her lightsabers. All she's got is, like, the tiny dagger one. Yoda's a little bit weak because he's had to move around so much and he's had to, like, deflect so much lightning. Obi-Wan's mentally injured because he lost, like, Anakin, and he's had to, like, see Cody die, and he's a little bit injured too because he's been hit in the leg. Mace Windu's a little bit out because, like, you know, he's been, like, scarred, itch, scratched, and everything. And he's even been hit by lightning, so he's not moving so well. And Palpatine's, like, limping a little bit, and he's on the edge of, like, the building. And he says, "You can't stop what has already begun. A new empire. The Galactic Empire." And then he does, like, the spinny thing. I'm sorry, I had to keep that in. And he jumps at... he jumps at, Yoda. And I just want to say, for people who wonder why he did that, there's a reason. The reason why he did that was because it's to paralyze your enemies with fear. I think that's a... I'm sorry, but that kind of paralyzed everyone who saw that scene with laughter. So he does that ridiculous move, and he kind of gets them a little bit. And what happens is that, some of the Jedi. Hang on, let me think. Who was it? It was Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan takes, like, the sword to the heart, and he's just like, "I won't have you kill another one of my great friends." And Ahsoka is like, "No!" And Mace Windu's just shocked, so is Yoda. And then Palpatine's just like, "Oh no, this is bad." And then Ahsoka jumps at Palpatine, cuts off his arm that's holding the blade, and, you know, Palpatine screams in agony, "No!" And then the four of them actually force push Palpatine off the bridge, off the building, and before they push him, Ahsoka throws her mini lightsaber at his chest, killing him, and pushes him off the ledge, and he dies. Now the ending is that they get rid of the clones, pieces brought to the galaxy, and I have not forgotten about Padme. I knew she had some part, and she comes forward saying Anakin and I were secretly in a relationship, but Obi-Wan and she was at Obi-Wan's funeral, and she says Obi-Wan knew that... Actually, wait, hang on. Before Obi-Wan dies, he tells the three of them that there is another chosen one. And they say, "Who is it?" And they say, "Padme." And he says, "Padme's children." And they even ask, like, "Oh, who's the father?" And they say it was Anakin. And then he says, "They are the ones who will bring balance to the galaxy." And so basically, you know, the ending is that Obi-Wan gets a funeral. Then Padme gives birth to Luke and Leia. I didn't leave those out, but they start to be trained in the way of the Jedi by Ahsoka and Yoda. And the galaxy is basically still the same, still a republic, except the clones are no longer anymore, except for the clones who took out the chip, which were Rex, Wolf, wasn't Heavy, it was some guy named Scar or something, and they're basically like, high-ranking authorities, so now they're like, they somehow work for the Republic in that way. And the ending is that the bad guys lost and heroes have won, but we lost Obi-Wan, Anakin, Darth Maul, Grievous, Dooku, Sidious, Kit Fisto, may he rest in peace. He did not die in a bad way, though. He was good at fighting. And then that's about it, and the universe lives in the balance. and there is no like no other trilogy. And some of you are probably wondering, well, where's Han? Well, why not Han Solo? Why couldn't he? Because that's like fan service. You want like to tell your own stories, and that's it. And you know, this is like not canon. This is obviously not canon. If this was, oh, we'd be all pissed. But that was my thought of like what would happen if Anakin and Obi-Wan went to Mandalore. And that's it. And guys, stay safe. I'll keep trying to look for a cure, and you know, just stay safe and like, you know, try to do as much as you can. And that's about it. Another video will probably be posted next month or next week or later this week. I'll have to see what I can do. Alright. Bye, guys.